I have been really, and I mean really, really been diligently trying to read my Bible more than I probably ever had in my entire life. And doing more studying than I probably have in my whole life. And I've been doing more writing and understanding and actually trying to make sense of everything in the Bible, how it correlates to old times, new times, me, past me, new me, everything about the way things are, and try to make sense of everything. And the way I make sense of everything is I write that down. I write everything down. I study. When I'm a studying fool. Once I get my head on something, I study like nobody's business, and I will find every freaking way to cross-examine or whatever and try to find out the meaning of things and understand things. And I'm really, really, really trying to have a better meaning of things instead of just surface value or just black and white, which the Bible is black and white. It is. There is no gray, but in a lot of times in the world, everybody's perception is different no matter what you read or how you read it or what. Every point in your life, you're having a different perception of what it is you read. Whatever's going on in your head, whatever's going on in your life, whatever you've been through, whatever. Your perceptions are going to be different no matter what. Everybody. You can have 3 people in a room reading the same damn verse, and everybody's going to have a different mindset, and they're going to argue, and they're going to argue, and they're going to argue. And that's where research comes in, and cross-examining, and looking at things, and actually understanding and having that discernment or what means what. And even then, I mean, who's to say who's right? But, the Bible is pretty cut and dry. Yes, there's a lot of stuff that's up for interpretation and parables and poems and songs and all this stuff that you had to decipher. But at the same time, if you have the actual spiritual discernment, then it makes it easier to understand what you're reading because you know what you feel that you understand. And that comes with true believing and actually accepting Christ. Because if you don't, you can't understand a dang thing that's coming out of that Bible because it sounds like gibberish. It sounds like it's coming out of Hogwarts or freaking The Hobbit or whatever. It sounds like such a fantasy land. It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, long story short, I've been doing a hell of a lot of reading and a hell of a lot of stuff, and I decided I'm going to start doing breakdowns and outlines of stuff that I go over. My brother actually created a podcast and a YouTube channel for us to do this on, but I haven't figured it out yet because I'm not a YouTuber. I've done TikTok for a gazillion years. I know how to do TikTok. That's my thing. That's my jam. I know how to use it. I haven't figured it out, so I'm going to keep doing it on here until I figure out the YouTube and let my brother figure all that because he's the tech guru and I am not. So I am going to start it on here first, and then we'll move it over to that, and then I will actually post that link on here because he's going to do stuff, I'm going to do stuff, we're going to have other people do stuff, it's going to be a collaborative thing where we actually talk about stuff and, argue and dispute and talk about stuff over the Bible and see what everybody's viewpoints are because everybody's different. Everybody understands it a different way. It doesn't matter if I explain something to you that I would think in a million years that you can't understand. You ain't going to understand it. Or if you explain something to me and I can't understand it, nobody's the same. Everybody's different. It's different perspectives of how you perceive things and how you were in that moment, whether you can understand what somebody's saying. Everybody's that way. That's why the Bible's so hard to understand and why faith's so hard to understand, because there's so much up for interpretation. But the more you actually study and the more you actually get involved and read, it makes things different. So I've been rambling for a long time, but I wanted to actually get to what I actually wrote. I've been working on this for like 2 or 3 days. We went to church on Sunday and we hadn't been in a month, and I hate to admit that because I haven't been to church in a month. I've been so dang busy. I've been working. I've been worried about everything else but church, and I shouldn't have done that. Well, we actually went to church on Sunday, and it was like an extreme eye-opener. It's almost like God's like knew we were there. We were supposed to hear this stuff, and it was something that was meant for us. And I love when that happens. I cannot explain to you how much I love when I walk into church and it's like God is like literally sitting on my lap and listen Linda, you need to hear this. Listen, I am specially curating this message for you because you need to listen to me. And that is like the most amazing thing ever. You walk in like, I'm sorry, I'm such a bad person, oh my gosh, I messed up, and you're like freaking out because you're like, God's like literally coming here, slapped you in the face and told you some stuff that you need to hear. And that's what happened on Sunday. So I took a lot of stuff that I heard on Sunday and then added in my own stuff and my own research and everything I've been going through. But I did start the core of it from what I heard on Sunday, which I absolutely loved. I loved it. So I'm actually stop rambling and get to it. it starts with the whole service was it was a part of a Celebrate Recovery series, and I think this was the last part of it. I don't know, but what they started with was the whole the focal point and highlight of the message was started over the acronym BREATHE. And BREATHE has different words that were it goes for every letter, and it was just amazing how he broke it down and how it is completely freaking true and right. So I'm going to go over that first. This is probably going to be like a 2 or 3 parter because I keep freaking rambling, because I'm excited about this and I've been working on this and I just freaking love it. This is something I need to hear, something a lot of people in my life need to hear, and it was just like mind opening, and it just made me super excited. So anyways, the acronym BREATHE. The B standing for, where I got 2 or 3 papers here, so I gotta remember which one I was reading off of, because I've wrote this like 3 times. The B standing for, we are all broken. God never expected perfection. He expected surrender. Brokenness is the starting place for restoration, which is so true, because there is not, I don't think there's not one of us in this world that's not broken. We got stuff. We got crap in our life. We have so much trauma and tragedy and hurts and hang-ups and stuff in our life that we do not want to talk about, and we hold it and we hold it and we hold it and we hold it, and it makes us just broken because we don't want to let it go. We do not want to let go of all that stuff that's in our head, and it keeps us in a state of just sedentariness, not a word, sedentary, whatever, where we're stuck. We can't move anywhere because we are broken, and we don't know what to do with it because we think we can't do anything. We think we can't move forward because of all this stuff we have on us, all this baggage and crap we have in our head. We can't move forward. So we are literally all broken people, no matter who you are, how much you think you're not. We are all broken people. We all got something. And the prescription that went with that one was Psalms 34:18. It says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. If that's not true, I can't tell you what is. Because I can't tell you, I've been more closer to God in my brokenheartedness, or my depression, or my anxiety, or my lowest point in my life. I've never been closer to God than then, because you have to fall to a certain point before you know the only way up is God. There's no other way up. You can't help yourself. You can't do a damn thing for yourself. You're just stuck. You're in this replaying roller coaster of all this stuff in your head, and you can't let it go. You can't get past it because you have nowhere to put it. You have nowhere to let it release. You can't release it because you feel like that's something you got to hold because it's part of you and you can't let it go. And that is true. Oh gosh, that is so true. That brokenheartedness is actually a blessing in disguise, because until you experience this kind of fall in your life or whatever it is, you can't get to know God in a certain way, because it's just different. When you're in that place, you just know God's the only way out. And it completely changes your mindset on everything, because, you can't do it. You haven't done it. You want to do it, but you can't. You can't do it. So what's the only other option? Give it to somebody else. Give it to God. Lay it at His feet. Try to surrender all that stuff that's in your head and everything that you're going through, knowing that someone else is there to catch it, and someone else is there to help it and fix it and give you a freedom you've never known before, if you're willing to do it, and if you're willing to actually surrender. And that's the hardest part, is surrender, and actually realizing that you need to surrender, because we are all prideful, egotistical, freaking sociopathic maniacs, and we don't think we should do that, and we think we're awesome, and we think we can fix ourselves, and we're just selfish, and we can't do those things because how dare he? How could he do that? How could he do that? Why would he do that? And it's just all these things go to your head that you think that why would God would ever do anything for you? But that is farthest from the truth. And that's what stops a lot of people, because of that mindset, because you won't go to God because you think He wants nothing to do with you. You are awful. You are broken. You are terrible. Blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want anything to do with you. Why would he? We're terrible. So that's something that's hard to grasp. And I'm going to have to go to part 2 because I am rambling and I'm only on B, and I got a lot more to say, so I'm going to go to part 2. So go to the next video.